Nearly 1,000 years ago, a scholar warned the world about money, not because it was powerful, but because it had no morality.
Money was never meant to rule humanity. It was meant to serve it.
Trade expanded, wealth multiplied, but wisdom struggled to keep pace.
What happens when wealth grows faster than wisdom?
Money has no soul of its own. It reflects the soul of those who use it.
Wealth that does not move suffocates society. When money flows, society breathes. When it stops, society suffocates. Hoarding is not strength. It is fear pretending to be security. Profit without contribution is corruption in disguise. Markets do not collapse from lack of goods, but from lack of trust.
Without ethics, no economy can remain balanced.
In 11th century Baghdad, work was seen not merely as survival, but as a profound moral and spiritual obligation.
Not all wealth is equal. Some builds character, some destroys it.
Civilizations riz on contribution, not exploitation.
Wealth detached from effort detaches people from reality.
Money reflects character, and character is shaped by work.
When power touches money, temptation follows. Debasing currency is theft done in silence.
The poor always pay first for the sins of power.
The physical coins are gone.
This new digital system is already stabilizing the market. Just rulers protect prosperity. Unjust ones destroy it. When corruption reaches the summit, it flows downward without resistance. When leaders cheat, dishonesty becomes permission. A market without honesty is only a battlefield. Every lost trust adds cost. Enough cost, and the system breaks. Civilizations rarely fall from invasion. They fall from within.
Every economy moves on two forces, fear and greed.
People hoard not because they have too much, but because they fear having too little.
The most dangerous lies are the ones we tell ourselves.
People respond to incentives more than ideals. You cannot fix an economy without fixing what it rewards. Wealth is not a reward. It is a responsibility. No one prospers alone. Wealth binds people together, for better or worse. Excess destabilizes. Balance sustains.
Extreme inequality turns prosperity into pressure.
Civilizations endure when wealth serves life, not the other way around. 1,000 years changed the tools, not the temptations.
When growth becomes the goal, everything else becomes expendable.
Consumption without purpose leaves people full and empty.
When money loses its moral compass, societies lose their way. Trust is not accidental. It is built, maintained, and defended.
Where justice is predictable, trust becomes profitable.
Predictable rules turn risk into opportunity.
Stability is rarely spectacular, but it is powerful. The strongest economies are built on what cannot be seen. The strongest economies are built on what cannot be seen.
Inflation steals quietly, one small adjustment at a time. Debt pulls the future into the present and makes it fragile.
Every unpaid cost becomes someone else's burden. No system escapes the consequences of its values. When money loses its moral compass, civilizations follow.
Every system is made of choices. Every choice begins with a person.
The most important work often goes unseen.
Short-term gain writes long-term consequences.
Decline is possible. Renewal is always a choice.
Change accelerates when understanding becomes collective.
True authority restrains itself. Ethical leadership stabilizes entire systems.
Trust is rebuilt through structure, not slogans.
Sustainable reform begins where incentives change. Renewal is not perfection. It is direction.
If money is powerful, understanding it must be taught.
Civilizations remember through people.
Skill without ethics only accelerates harm.
History teaches most clearly after collapse.
Every generation inherits responsibility before power. The story of money repeats across cultures and centuries.
The structures change. The incentives rarely do. Different cultures. Same instincts. Truth does not age. Only attention does. The future is not written by culture, but by choice.
Money moves faster when stories push it.
Growth looks infinite until it isn't.
Too much information can erase understanding.
Clarity returns when illusion fades.
When money becomes entertainment, responsibility disappears. Money has become fast. Wisdom has not. When money becomes abstract, consequences feel unreal.
Efficiency is not wisdom. Speed is not judgment.
Progress outruns morality when reflection is removed.
Survival belongs to systems that know when to slow down.
Before wealth can be governed, desire must be disciplined.
Power lies not in accumulation, but in restraint.
The value of an action is measured by its intention. Greed corrupts long before it destroys.
A society is only as strong as the discipline of its desires.
Correction begins the moment denial ends. Repentance is not weakness. It is recalibration.
Restoration heals what punishment cannot.
Balance is not perfection. It is correction sustained.
Recovery is not an event. It is a practice.
Power remains legitimate only when it accepts accountability.
Integrity often costs more than corruption.
Corruption always costs more than it pays.
Courage is choosing principle over approval.
Leadership heals when it serves rather than protects itself.
Time forgets riches. It remembers principles. History does not debate. It records.
When systems fall, only trust allows rebuilding.
Civilizations are remembered for how they treated people, not how much they accumulated.
The future will not ask what we owned. It will ask what we stood for.
History has repeated itself patiently, waiting to be understood.
The pattern never changes. Only our attention does. Justice creates trust. Trust creates prosperity.
This moment is not unique. It is familiar.
Money is powerful. Morality decides what that power becomes.
Knowing all this, what will you choose?
Every honest action reshapes the system.
Every generation decides what it passes on.
Morality is not a moment. It is a habit.
Some truths do not demand action. They demand honesty. Some truths arrive only after the words stop.
What matters most is what stays with you.
The story does not end here.
What you remember will guide what you become. What you remember will guide what you become.
Nearly 1,000 years ago, the warning was already clear.